5 to 6 months of pregnancy, you better know that they require like a help. So second priority goes to expecting mothers, third priority goes to ladies, and last priority goes to gents. This is the fourth priority. First different level, expecting mothers, ladies, and last gents. But in a shopping mall, cinema hall, open area, residence area, there is a big change in this guidelines. First priority goes to different level people, second priority goes to expecting mother, but third priority goes to kids and elderly people, बच्चे और बूढ़े, fourth priority goes to ladies, and last priority goes to gents. This is the priority. You can like support people to take them out from the building and advise people proceeding to the safe assembly point. And once like people are proceeding to the safe assembly point, once you are moving out after the evacuating people, check all the cubicles, room, meeting room, training room, washroom especially. Washroom is the most neglected area. So once you check the room, what you have to do, suppose I am going to check this particular room, I will see that nobody should leave behind. If it is clear, I will go out. I will close the door, but do not lock it. Close the door, but do not lock it. Why not to lock it? Because might be that I couldn't notice anyone was there, and later on he may get trapped. So just close the door. So it will help to stop to spreading the fire to some extent. And once you close the door, this room check the tag. You can see you can stick on that particular gate. You can stick on that particular gate. So what will be the benefit of that? Benefit of that, suppose me and my friend both are designated this particular area for checking and for evacuation. So once I will check this room, I will close the door and I will mark this sticky. So once my friend will come to this area, he will receive this information that this room has been already checked. And he will not waste his time again and again for rechecking the same area. So this sticky, the room check tag we use for the internal communication. Internal communication. Reason is small fire get converted into major fire within 3 minutes, and we have to clear the board within 2.5 minutes. Remember this. And then switch off all electrical equipment while moving out. Any electrical equipments are there, just switch off that. And once your department got evacuated, you see that you are safe, you have a time, you can position yourself to the other department also, and you can help people for the evacuation. And once they reach to the safe assembly area and they stand in a line, take their head down quickly, and report back to the plant evacuation supervisor. Plant evacuation supervisor, a person having a attendance for that particular organization. Suppose manager HR, he is having attendance for that particular day. So what he will do? He will take a printout of attendance of that particular day, either the total number of attendance of that particular day, and he will reach to the safe assembly area. And once we will take a head count as a floor warden, we will report back to him. He will match the data that all the people evacuated successfully or not. And if anyone is missing, suppose we do not enter inside the building at any cost. We do not enter inside the building at any cost. We just inform to the plant evacuation supervisor. He will inform the incident controller, and the fire brigade team will enter inside the building for the rescue operation because they have a fireman suit, they have a CBN, they can do the miracle. We do not enter inside the building. And if, as I said, if someone is missing, report back to the plant evacuation. Earlier we had a problem with the evacuation, but now these days, this smart evac system is in a place in most of the factory, most of the organization. Suppose there's a 10 acres plant, I'm saying that. So mostly we get this confusion in a safe assembly area that all the buildings were evacuated or not. So according to this smart evac management, we just separate this 10 acres in 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5 4 different parts. And we designate a floor wardens to each and every area. Suppose A block, B block, C block, and D block, and we designate you can say the floor warden. So once suppose I am taking A block, 6A block I am taking that. Once it will be clear. So nearby there is one tag box that is called this kind of the tag box. In which if you open, there will be one metal strip, connected to the magnet. There will be magnet, and that will be strip to that. So once I will open this box, this magnet, this cylinder like a magnet strip will come out where you can see the zone sector 6A, tower name, floor name, zone name, everything will be mentioned from before the emergency itself. I will take tag of my particular suppose 6A, 6A I am taking care. I will take this tag. I will reach to the safe assembly area. And plant evacuation supervisor will having this kind of a tag control station, this kind of the booklet, which is having the same design, but the place where he can stick this particular strip of a metal strip having a this magnet. So once he will make a 6A, message will be loud and clear that this 6A zone has clear. 6B clear. 6C clear. Suppose if someone has forgotten to take this step, you can take a manual head count and you can make sure that that particular area got evacuated. See, this is called tag control station. So this smart evac management system is also very fantastic these days. Fire parties, not like a self-certified people, like a certified people. Suppose Asian Paint, where I mostly deliver a training program, where I have seen that they have own fire tenders and certified people from the fire department, and they are the initial responder, you can say. If any emergency takes place, they wear this fireman suit and SCBA, and they are highly trained. They reach to the spot. What they will do? On hearing the alarm, first they will they will find out the location from the emergency control center, and they will wear this fireman suit and SCBA. First, they will carry.
One of the greatest dangers to fire services staff when combating fires in contained areas is the threat of flashover or backdraft. Fire services staff who are able to quickly recognize the characteristics of a flashover or backdraft will increase both the personal safety of their colleagues and the effectivity of the firefighting techniques being used.
So this was a fire party which will fight with the fire initially. This next important team inside the organization is a first aid team. People who are certified in a CPR, how to administer a CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation during the heart attack, how to tackle that. If there's bleeding, how to control it. If there's any bandaging required for scalp bandage to spine injury, how they are going to they are highly trained. The highly trained people in a first aid or a basic life support, we used to say. So once they suppose they on hearing the alarm, they rush to the rush to the spot with their first aid box and stretcher. They look for the casualties. If any injuries is there, they immediately give the first aid, their own responsibility to give the first aid. And if they need to transport, they can transport them to the first aid center also. Their responsibility, they arrange the ambulance and they rush to the hospital also. But once they they reach to the hospital, they tell doctors also that what kind of the first aid they have administered. So in one line, they are the basic life support providers, BLS providers. We used to say the first aider. They administer, a first aid. They are the first responder during any kind of medical emergency. Last but not the least, for any organizational setup, for any factory, for any organization, this communication team are very, very important. Or the bunch of the people who are the master communicator, and your communication may save many lives. Actually, the quality of your communication during an emergency situation play a main role. So first thing, hearing the alarm and siren, they rush to the emergency control center, and they use the call tree and to connect the required department. As much as department required, they connect to them. And if suppose landline phones are dead, they are specialized to arrange special phones also and mobile phones also. And suppose once the emergency is declared, they call the fire brigades and emergencies number. They are specialized for this. But their main and very, very crucial role is they are the person, the authorized person to communicate with the press and media. Because during an emergency, there will be chances of a lot of chaos and confusion. People talk about different kind of rumors also, that this happened, that happened, and that's why the rumors takes place, and that play a very, very crucial role. So in that case, they are the authorized person to talk to the media. So they communicate properly with the specific information which is given by the management, so it will avoid any kind of confusion in that particular event, and they communicate to the affected family. Suppose someone lost his life, someone's son lost his life. So this is a very, very emotional, kind of a moment for that particular family and for organizational setup also. So these are the bunch of people, they are the master communicator with the proper words. They communicate to the family member, the affected person or family member, that this incident happened and this happened with your family. So with the proper communication, they inform them. So they are basically the communicator. So these were the role and responsibility of from emergency control center to incident controller to maintenance team to security team to ERT team to basic life support first aider team, and last but not the least the communication team. Okay. Now next 10 minutes we are going to discuss about the fire. What is a fire? Hazard spotting and the demonstration of extinguishers, and last 10 minutes we'll take a question and answer session where we can discuss if you have any confusion related to this role and responsibility of evacuation procedures. So fire is a chemical reaction between these three elements: fuel, oxygen and heat. The chemical reaction, amongst these three elements, which forms as a combustion, which is called as a fire. Fuel, any combustible item, solid, liquid, gas, any form which is a combustible in nature, called as a fuel. For example, table, chair, ceiling, body, everything is a combustible almost. Nothing is called fireproof, everything is a fire resistant. So fuel, anything which is burned. Oxygen, where it is available? It is available in environmental air. Generally, I ask this question, for icebreaker in my in-house training program. Is what we inhale and what we exhale. इस सांस लेते वक्त क्या खींचते हैं और क्या छोड़ते हैं? 99% people reply, sir, we inhale oxygen and we exhale CO2. Because our teacher taught like this, no? That we inhale oxygen and we exhale CO2. But if you see the environmental air which we inhale, that consists of 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and 1% are rest gases. So 1/4 is oxygen, but rest is nitrogen and other gases. Okay, so 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and 1% are rest gases. This we inhale. and leads to its ignition temperature. It requires a certain temperature to ignite the flame. So that heat is also available almost everywhere. Suppose if you touch your laptop, you will feel some amount of heat, but it will not start burning. If you touch your mobile also, you will feel some amount of heat, but it will not start burning because every substance have a particular temperature. Suppose paper, 230 degrees Celsius, then it will start burning. Softwood, 235 degrees Celsius, it will reach, then it will start burning. Petrol and wood, both will burn, but the petrol will burst up and wood will only burn little later also. So ignition temperature difference simply is there. So chemical reaction between these three elements, fuel, oxygen and heat, is formed as a combustion, which is called as a fire. And when these three comes together in a proper proportionate for particular time, then only fire emergency takes place. Any will be less or more, fire emergency will hardly it will take place. Hardly I must say, because these three all must come together. So I'm going to show you some original picture, because see, research says 75% cases of fire these days happening due to electrical short circuits. You can see the data on Google. Now we have Aladdin ka chirag called Google. Just in a 10 seconds you'll get all the data. 75% cases of fire happening in India due to electrical short circuits. But what kind of the mistake people are doing? See, this is one of the example, hazard spotting. See this picture. Cotton is a fuel, okay, and this wood is also fuel. Oxygen is already available in air, but the heat on which we have a little control. This damaged electrical cable, this damaged electrical cable, mostly people have this tendency, they do not repair it immediately. कि छोड़ यार जब तक चल रहा है चलने दे, जब होगी तब देखी जाएगी, and that become a deadliest and dangerous, because the day spark will takes place here, the fuel item is available automatically, it will get ignition and there can be a fire emergency. You must have seen this kind of picture many times in your life. Missing covers. People are thinking, अरे यार चल रहा है ना चलने दे. But there will be accumulation of moisture, dust. There will be moisture, dust accumulation will be there, and in long term, it will create in a short circuit. So make it properly fixed, and it should be inside. Proper cover should be there. As this training program objective is, whenever you are roaming inside the organization, keep your eyes open. If any kind of pictures like this, immediately report to the concerned department and rectify that. This badly done installation. One of the bad habits. This white. If you see this white wire, is intensity is quite thick, but this yellow one is quite thin. So electrical flow will come, in a heavy flow, and the road will be narrow once it will reach to the yellow one. Common sense. If there is suppose on a highway, traffic is going very smooth. Aage puliya, aage there is one bridge. What will happen? There will be traffic jam. So we must do right insulation. The same intensity wire we should connect. And see this wood. This is already a fuel. They have a fixed it. This is a very wrong practice. This extension board. Normally we use for temporary uses in front of our eyes, but see that the table is crushing that particular wire, and it can create short circuits. Normally we had this kind of the fuse system previously in a home, or most of the factory they are having it. If there is any electrical fluctuation, so there will be small wire, the thin wire will be there, it will burn and it will save the appliances. So one of the factories, this was happening on a continuous basis. See what they have done. See this picture. They have fixed a bolt, a big screw from one side to another side. कितनी हिम्मत है तो जल के बता. And then people say fire अचानक से हो गई. Nothing happened अचानक. This kind of blunder or mistake we commit, and that's why most of the fire emergencies are happening. Miniature circuit breaker, and see this, any malfunction, any fluctuations, it will dip down, it will save your appliances. But what they have done, they have fixed it permanently, so it will create a lot of problem. This is one of the general mistake which we have seen many times in most of the factories area. Suppose these are the electrical panels, okay, and security guard and other people, they put their pant, shirt and everything near to this electrical panel. Minimum 3 feet distance should be there, from any kind of fuel item, from electrical source. 3 feet. One of the commonly done mistake in India, most of the fire happening after electrical short circuit due to badly done housekeeping. If you see this storage house, the full of all the materials. So these are the fuel, oxygen that can come from this electrical panel. So minimum 3 feet distance should be there. Keep your eyes open. That is storage house. If there is an electrical panel, there must be a distance from there. Then it can be safe. So these are the examples which is that people are making, knowingly or unknowingly, this kind of mistakes, and that is playing a very dangerous role in case of a fire emergency. Khatron ke khiladi, see this kind of people are also there, cutting, grinding, building. Always provide them a hot permit whenever they are coming inside the organization. Do the proper inspection, and once they complete their work, after doing that also do the proper inspection. Then only be very sure that everything is safe. Dangerous chemicals always stored in a proper quantity, whatever allowed by the guidelines by the authorities. Proper temperature, maintain that, and do not store in a extra quantity which is not allowed already. And this kind of picture you must have seen in a residential area, then like a network of wire, like all across. And smoking, of course. Previously it was there, but now most of the fact-based companies, they are creating a smoking zone out of like a factory or building. That if you want to smoke, go out of my factory or like my building, go and smoke and then come back to work. Because most of the places, especially in the hotel industry, this was a big problem, and so got gutted with the fire and destroyed completely. So these are the some hazard spotting which I have shown you, which was we got a real picture during like a fire audit, which demonstrate that what kind of mistake people are doing. So I said, if these three elements, when they come together, then only fire emergency takes place. Let's understand, like the demonstration of extinguishers. But before that, understand the principle of fire extinguisher. How easily we can manage this particular element. Because if you see, old Tata industry with the Tata Steel, KFC, they are playing with the temperature. These fire elements, if you talk about like a Tata Steel, different kinds of steel companies, they are playing with like a different kind of temperature. If you talk about KFC also, what they are doing? They are frying the chicken on a different temperature. So we can control this element and see how to extinguish this. If you cut like a fuel supply and you extinguish a fire, this process is called starvation. Starvation. In fire science, it's called starvation. If you cut oxygen supply and you extinguish a fire, it's called blanketing or smothering process. And third, when you cut the heat supply and you extinguish a fire, called cooling process. Starvation, very simple. When you're cutting the like a fuel supply, generally we used to do, if there's a 3-4 chairs are there, one chair catches a fire, what we do? We remove all other chairs. For example, in our home, we have this cooking cylinders. Cooking cylinders is like based on starvation. So LPG is a gas, okay? LPG we keep in like a particular cylinder, that is a gas for us. We use one pipe to take it to the stove, okay? We take one pipe to take it to the stove. Oxygen is coming from the air, okay? Now oxygen is coming from the air, and how we provide the heat from the matchbox or lighter, okay? Suppose if gas is on, fuel is there, oxygen is also there, but lighter is not working, so there will be no fire at all. I forgot to switch on like a knob of like a fuel. So gas was not coming from through the pipe. Oxygen was there, lighter was also working, but still there will be no fire. Because all three elements should be come together. Now, like I have to cook my food and I have to extinguish a fire. What we do? We just switch off the black color knob. We on to off. While doing the off, what exactly we are doing? We are cutting off the fuel supply which is coming from that particular cylinder to that particular pipe. We are doing the switch off. That's called starvation. So based on this science, cooking cylinders, gas cylinders which we are using for the cooking the food, based on this one, the blanketing process. Most traditional method you must have seen to like a smothering process. We used to say that if someone clothing catches a fire, what we do? We take a bed sheet of blanket. Yes, polyester nylon should not be there. So we cover that person. While covering to the blanket, why we can extinguish a fire? Because oxygen supply which was coming through the air, we cut that oxygen supply and it will get extinguished. Most of the time you have seen in our family also. They're cooking samosas, pakoras, and oil also catches fire. Kadai mein udhar aag lag jati hai. So if you look at that oil catches fire, what family members they used to do? They particular lid, a cover, and they cover that particular like oil. उस कढ़ाई को ढक देते उधर plate से. So while covering that with that plate, why we are able to extinguish a fire? Because oxygen supply get cut off from that particular heat. Third, cooling process. Most orthodox method. Suppose if any table is like a burning, so that requires temperature of 230 degrees Celsius. Once the ignition, the heat will reach to the 230 degrees Celsius, then only ignition can take place. So water is having the greatest thermal capacity to absorb the heat. Once it will heat up, I will take like a bucket of water, I will throw on that. So water will like absorb the heat from that particular wood. It will take it out because water is having the greatest thermal capacity to absorb the heat. So temperature will get down and it will cause the cooling process. So these three principles: starvation, cutting off the but A class, B class, C class, D class, and electrical class. A class, any solid items which is solid in nature, burns and produces with the ash is called A class. Wood, paper, cotton, textile, table, chair, all solid items is called A class. All flammable liquids, petrol, diesel, oil, kerosene, paint is called B class. C class, combustible gases, LPG, CNG, methane, propane, butane, all the gases in is called. C is a universal, simple, easy to remember in your mind. A, B, C, solid, liquid, gas. A, B, C, solid, liquid, gas. Very simple it is. Now the D class is a special class. There are some combustible items. Combustible like the metals I am talking about. Suppose aluminium is also metal, but if you heat up, it will melt. It will not burn. Brass is also metal. If you heat, you provide a heat, it will melt. It will not, it will not burn. I am talking about some combustible metals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, lithium, barium. Most of these combustible metals are classified like in a staff lab India, ready laboratories, the testing laboratories. Mostly they are having potassium, magnesium, sodium, this kind of combustible metals. That is also categorized as the D class.